Hey, Facebook friends, how are you? I am here today with my favorite Dr. Peter Osborne, who is down in Sugar Land, Texas, which is west. I think of Texas as a clock or Houston as a clock, so I know that if I want to go to Dr. Osborne's office, I stay at the hotel here and have to drive that way. So in my blonde brain, sometimes it gets a little mixed up. But we're here today to talk to you about Dr. Osborne's practice that's down in Sugar Land, Texas, about his program for patients, his program for practitioners. This is a busy, busy guy. Let me tell you this. And I don't even know if he understands how much he's helped me as a practitioner, as a clinical training specialist for Perk and Eliza Act. I don't even think he knows that he's been my mentor for the last 6 or 7 years. So I want to thank you for being here. But let me go ahead and I'm going to read this bio because, again, just like last week with Mira, I've got a full page of awesomeness. That's how incredible this guy is. And I'm going to put my old lady glasses on, and I'm going to read this to you. Dr. Peter Osborne is the clinical director of Origins Healthcare Center in Sugar Land, Texas. He is a doctor of chiropractic medicine and a board-certified clinical nutritionist. He is an expert in orthomolecular and functional medicine. He has been practicing since 2001. His clinical focus is the holistic natural treatment of chronic degenerative diseases, and with a primary focus on gluten sensitivity and food allergies. He has helped thousands of patients recover from mysterious medical illnesses. Dr. Osborne, natural treatment of chronic degenerative diseases. Can you translate that for me, please?
Yeah, so let's remove the word treatment because, treatment. Well, I don't treat diseases. I take care of patients, right? I take care of patients. I listen to them. We bring them into the clinic. These people suffer with all kinds of ailments. Most of them have been pre-diagnosed with some type of autoimmune condition ranging from rheumatoid arthritis to lupus, scleroderma, multiple sclerosis, you name it. We've seen it. Some rare, some not so rare. But what we do is we take them on a journey. We take them on a journey and educate them. Our job is not necessarily, that's why I say we don't really treat. We educate. We get the patient. We educate them about what they're doing wrong, what they need to be doing. We run highly advanced labs, including, as you know, the lymphocyte response assay, the LRA by Eliza Act, because it's one of the best tested to discriminate food and chemical reactivity in a person. And we try to pinpoint and target their unique biochemical individuality so that we can map out a program and have them follow that program. And what we see is the body has the power to heal if you take away the interference, and that's what we do.
Absolutely. And what do you use as far as supplementation goes, or helping the body heal from an outside force? Is it pills? Is it food? What is it that you use there in your practice?
All the above. I mean, food comes first. If you don't change diet, nothing will happen. I've not ever seen a patient be able to heal unless they change their diet. So you could put a person on 100 of the best supplements in the world to fight inflammation, to support adrenal function, to help a thyroid, but it isn't going to fix the intrinsic problem if the food is acting as a poison. So we have to choose the right diet, and we have to fall back to the principle of eating real food. And so that's part of the education process, but it's also part of the testing process. We do genetic screening. We do LRA testing to try to help determine what a patient's diet needs to be focused on doing. And then, of course, from there, we do target supplementation, but I don't just pull out, random things from my supplement because we have a huge pharmacy. I don't pull things out from that and just say, hey, let's do this and let's do this and let's support this and let's support that. We really are test focused in what we pick and choose because I get patients all the time. They've been to a doc and they're on 100 pills and they're not better. So I want to try to minimize pills, maximize food, and maximize behaviors. And so from that philosophy, we do testing that helps measure vitamin and mineral deficiencies. We do testing that helps to assess hormone balancing so that if they do need support in certain areas over others, that we can offer that support, but through a targeted mechanism as opposed to just, hey, let's try this for 3 or 4 weeks and see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. And when it comes to food and food recommendations, you have your own guide, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, No Grain, No Pain. Obviously, the best-selling, international best-selling book that I wrote last year and was published with Simon & Schuster Touchstone. And so we have a 15-day phase 1 protocol and a 15-day phase 2 protocol. And we, every patient of mine gets the book. And so while we're in limbo, because I run a lot of lab, while we're in limbo, I make them follow phase 1 and phase 2. It takes about 30 days to get some of these labs back. So they're following my restriction protocols based on the no grain, no pain platform. And then once we do get their testing back, we can get hyper sensitive about what it is we need to really be focused on with them. And even some of the protocols in the book get lifted because this person may not need as much restriction as what I have in the book.
Right. Yeah, that LRA by ELISA Act test will help you get even more specific with the foods that the patient should be or should not be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've seen some really strange things with that test, meaning, I had a guy one time, he went to 60 different dermatologists, 60. And his son is a very respected cardiovascular surgeon. And he actually sat in one time on a dermatology conference. He sat in a room in his underwear all day, and everybody at the conference went in and looked at him. The closest anyone came to figuring out his rash was somebody guessed formaldehyde. But he didn't have a formaldehyde reaction. He actually was allergic to a handful of different foods, and the only way we found that out was through the LRA testing. And within about a month of taking those out of his diet, his rash cleared up. So 60 doctors, a dermatology conference later, a simple blood test really was a solution for this man.
Isn't that such a great feeling, though? When you're able to deliver this to someone and they've been bathing in it or they've been eating it every day because someone else told them that it was a really good thing to do. And you're like, no, not a good thing for you. And I love this saying, one man's food is another man's poison. And that, and that's where testing really can help us to identify, what is poison and what is food for a person. Absolutely. How do patients get in contact with you if they want to work with you in your clinic? How does that work?
They just call Origins Healthcare. Origins Healthcare is the name of my clinic because we look for the origin of disease. We don't look for masking symptoms. Okay. And so all they have to do, they can go to drpeterosborn.com, drpeterosborn.com. There's a big Origins Healthcare tab at the top of that page. If they click it, it'll take them to our clinic website. Okay. And they can call, schedule an appointment. We're booking several months out right now. So if you're listening and you're chronically ill, it's better to get an appointment faster than slower because we get busier and busier every month.
Right. That's awesome. That's really great. Helping people. That's what it's all about. So Facebook friends, we're coming to you today because we want to also talk about the group that Dr. Osborne has for practitioners, to teach practitioners how to build their functional medicine practice and how to do the things that Dr. Osborne does. Is that correct? Is that a good
So I have the Dr. Osborn Mastermind, which is it's a small knit group of doctors who are, they're pervasive thinkers, they're leading thinkers. They want to build their practice and they want to grow their practice and they want to extend their reach beyond their hometown. My mastermind it's not about necessarily becoming a celebrity. It's more about expanding your reach, because the bigger your reach, the more your information can get into the right hands, the more people you can help. And my mission is to train 10,000 doctors to reach 100 million people. And the only way I'm going to do that is through doctors. So our mastermind is designed, it's where we work together really in a very, very, we'll call it intimate setting, because it's a small scale group. I have another program for doctors called the Functional Medicine Success Academy, which is it's webinar platform based. So we go through and I do webinar lessons every month, and that all of that leads up to our grand event every year. I put on a huge event called the Functional Medicine Success Summit. And the event is all about teaching doctors how to be successful. There are a lot of great physician education programs out there, and even you guys, your WellGuard platform is great. But there's IFM, there's FMU, there's a number of different platforms. Chris Kresser and Dan Kalish have platforms that they teach functional medicine and help doctors to learn the background of the science and some of the clinical component. So I felt like there was plenty of information on the clinical aspects of becoming a functional medicine practitioner, but there was nothing on how a functional medicine practitioner can take all this wonderful knowledge and actually apply it in a manner where they're successful, because we have a lot of really smart doctors. As an example, the valedictorian of my wife's class, we graduated from the same school together, but the valedictorian of her class failed. He's completely out of business. The smartest guy in the room couldn't figure out how to run a business. And that's where he failed. And he could have been a great practitioner and he could have succeeded really, really well, but he didn't. And so, we have a lot of smart doctors, but we don't have a lot of smart, successful doctors. And that's what my goal is, because if I can help train a doctor to run a business in functional medicine to be successful, I know he's going to reach more people in his lifetime, because if he has a practice that goes out of business in 5 years, how many people is he not going to reach with that great information? But if he's got a practice and he stays in business indefinitely, 30, 40, 50 years of practicing, how many thousands and thousands of lives is he going to touch? And how many thousands and thousands of lives are the people that he saved, are they going to touch, right? It's a cobweb-like effect that expands outward. And so I want to help doctors be successful, because when doctors are successful, they're happier. They're going to stay in it. They're not going to burn out. But, ultimately the biggest part of our mission is let's help people, right? Let's get people better. Well, doctors are people too, but we want the people who are seeing the doctors to get healthy. We want the doctors to stay healthy. And the only way we can do that is we have to have a doctor who loves what they do. They're passionate about functional medicine, but they're successful within that realm. So we teach them how to be successful. We fast track their success by helping them not make the mistakes that so many practitioners make when they're first starting a practice, or even seasoned doctors where we see them making just, terrible mistakes, that we could save them thousands of dollars. We could save them thousands of hours worth of time. Right. And so that's really what our goal is, at the Functional Medicine Success Summit, our annual event in February, which is we want to bring the best and the smartest minds together once a year to teach all the doctors in the room, the strategies in marketing and in business and in patient care, so that these doctors can walk away from this annual event and do better, right? And then ultimately, as they do better, again, they get more people better and everybody wins. So the doctors win, the patients win, and I win, because that's my mission, that's my goal, and that's my purpose in life. So the Functional Medicine Success Summit.com, Functional Medicine Success Summit.com is that website. We're getting ready. Tickets are not up for sale just yet. We're getting ready to do an early bird special. So you should make a log of that website, because the tickets are going to have to be $500 off for the first month. So you definitely want to take advantage of that early bird special.
$500 off for the early special. That's a gift, folks. Let me tell you what, I think I've been 4 years. What is this, your 6th year?
This is our 6th year.
Last year was the only year that I wasn't there. I've been 4 years. And let me tell you this, Dr. Osborne doesn't just say, here, this is what you're supposed to do, go do it. Dr. Osborne gives you all of the tools necessary to accomplish this. There are actionable items the moment you walk out of the conference room. He gives you homework. He gives you those tools. This is an information jam-packed session, and it's 2 days or 3 days. I can't remember.
It's 2.5. So we start on a Friday and end on a Sunday. And actually my mastermind folks fly in a day early, because we do a private mastermind group before the event. But, this year we've got some great speakers, and, our keynote this year is Dr. Josh Axe. And I think anybody who follows functional medicine can look at a guy like Dr. Axe and say, nobody has grown faster in the history of functional medicine than this guy. And that's why I wanted to have him come out and be the keynote at my event, because, obviously the guy's doing something right. Obviously he knows some things to accelerate to the level of success. I mean, he went from a few thousand followers to now he's got followers in the millions. He's been on every major media outlet. I just got back from his office in Tennessee. I went over and we had a nice trip and visit. And, he's got, I want to say somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 to 40 employees, at this point, because he grew so quickly. I think their biggest problem over there is they're growing so fast they can't hire enough people to keep up with the growth. So that's the biggest challenge they're having over there. But he's a very, very smart guy, very, very gifted, very talented, very smart in functional medicine, but very smart in business as well. So I really wanted to have him come and share his success story and how he accomplished what so many try to accomplish in a fraction of the time.
Yeah, definitely. You know, another thing I like about your conference too is that you don't get overrun with vendors. You know, you do offer vendor breaks so that people can go and talk to those vendors, but the vendors that you have there are strategically placed there. They are the companies that you use and that you trust to help you in your practice, correct?
Absolutely. We don't allow a vendor in if we haven't used them. And that's our screening process that's our screening process with our speakers. If I don't have a relationship and know, that this person is ethical, moral, and is in it for the right reasons, then they're not invited to the event. We want, again, our goal is to fill the room with thought leaders, with ethical, moral thought leaders, so that one, the speakers from the stage are people who are doing it. They're not people with kind of fake success. They're not people teaching people how to be successful. And that's how they're making their money. They're people that are successful and they're willing to share how they reach that level of success. The same with my clinic. I mean, I run one of the most successful functional medicine clinics in the world with a very low overhead and with a very small staff, yet we have, several months waiting lists and we do quite well here. And, I would never think about stepping out of my practice. One, I love seeing patients, but two, I feel like it makes me irrelevant within months, right? If I am not in it, then how can I teach being in it on a regular basis to doctors and healthcare practitioners who really need the guidance and the advice? But our vendors are, they're people that we use. They're the lab companies that we use, the supplement companies that we use. They're some of the software and technology platforms that we use. This year we're introducing a new vendor because I created a software platform for functional medicine clinics because I got so tired of the what was out there and how shoddy and how lacking most of these softwares were. So that's something exciting. We're announcing our new software, which has an online store. It has credit card processing. It has blog interaction. It is integrated with email, so you can automate your email sequences and campaigns, and you can send out through the software. We've got it set up to where it basically tracks labs for you, so you don't get confused if you run a lot of labs in your practice. We integrated a new feature called the lab timeline, so it shows you and it tracks when the lab was ordered, when the lab came into the office, when you covered the lab with the patient, and tracks all those things for you so you don't get confused and lost. It's an EMR, so it keeps your electronic medical record. It has a interface for your patients, so patients can come to your portal and they can get instant access to all their medical records. And then we also incorporated an app the patient can download so that you can send push notifications to the patient. So if you're having a sale in your office, you can send that coupon code out. They can even go to your online store and buy those things instantly. So no hands have to be touched, no phones have to ring. You can save an overhead. So again, I sat down and we kind of masterminded what we really wanted in a software and created it. And so that's one of our new vendors this year is something called the Functional Health Practice, EMR or EHR, Electronic Health Record. And so we've got a lot of great vendors this year. We've got the nutrition coaching platform, Sandra Scheinbaum, who trains nutritional coaches for doctors who are too busy and don't want to do the nutritional piece. And that we've done that. We've incorporated that into our office, and it saves me 16 hours a week. Yep. So we've incorporated that as a new vendor this year. We've got, we've got all the different lab companies, the ones that run the higher level of technology-based testing. So if you're a test-oriented type of clinic, you can get access to all the different labs that we use, and you can get access to some of the special platforms that we've even created with some of the labs, like with LRA. We created our own microtiter dish in your lab because there were certain things we wanted to see. And so all that's there, and all that's at your fingertips. So when you come to the event, I mean, really, honestly, I don't hold anything back. You know me, Melissa. I don't believe in a mindset. I believe that the more we give to the world, the more we receive back. And that's my goal, is to bring doctors into the fold, get them into one location, into one room, let them network with each other, let them network with some of the most successful people in the world so that they know how they can be better, how they can get successful quicker, and how they can shave a lot of the headaches off of their clinic growth. And achieve a real meaning and a real success in life, not just money, because money is only part of it, but certainly, money doesn't buy happiness, but money can make a lot of possibilities for a lot of different doctors. And so that's what we try to teach.
Yeah. Awesome. So tell me one more thing. Who should come to this? Should it just be medical doctors or just chiropractors, or are we looking at NDs and nutritionists and health coaches? Tell me who the audience is. Who should come to see this conference?
If you're delivering any kind of functional medicine service, you need to be there. It's the place to be, especially if you have a brick and mortar. I mean, if you've got a brick and mortar practice, not that if some docs are online, even if you've got just an online practice, is a great place to come hang out, because some of the things we teach are really high level. But doesn't matter whether you're a health coach, it doesn't matter whether you're a nutritionist or whether you're a nurse or a nurse practitioner or a physician assistant, a medical doctor, a chiropractor, a PhD, a pharmacist. We've had dentists and pharmacists come. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like the principal message that we're teaching is how to market successfully, right? How to grow a business successfully. So if you own a functional medicine business and you're not there, you should be.
Gotcha. Good. And we are going to be together in 4 different cities, giving a sneak peek. We're going to be in Chicago. We're going to Chicago next week.
Yeah.
So Thursday we'll be in Chicago. October the 12th, we're going to be in Washington, D.C. You're going to come to my hometown, and we're going to give you a sneak peek there. We'll be in Atlanta on November the 9th, and then we're going all the way out to the West Coast. We're going to go to L.A. on January the 18th. We're going to be giving docs out there a sneak peek at a dinner presentation. You can go to elizaact.com /functional medicine success summit. You can hear more about Dr. Osborne's program there. You can read more. You can see who the keynote speakers are, or who the participating speakers are. And you can check us out at one of those 4 cities and get a sneak peek, and make sure that you get your early bird ticket for the February event.
Yeah, don't miss out on that early bird. We have a lot of people come back and say, hey, can we get that early bird price? No, we're going to sell out. We sell out every year. So that's the thing. Get the early bird, because they probably will sell out before the early bird's even done. So there won't even be access to a regular price ticket, because we have a limited capacity, and we meet that capacity every year. So just make sure that you don't wait. If you're looking to grow a functional medicine practice, if you're looking to get more successful, don't wait to get your ticket.
Yeah, don't wait. This is an event that you absolutely must attend. So thank you so much, Dr. Osborne, for being here with me today, and I'll see you next Thursday.
All right. Looking forward to it.
All right. Take care.
You too.